I'm reading a really impactful book that is basically about how do you lead in chaos? How do you function in chaos? And it's basically about leadership. And I'm reading it because I know, especially in today's day and age where there's so many layoffs and things like that happening, how do you sell in this environment? Because essentially, selling really is about gaining proper influence and trust. So, one of the interesting analogies that this book gives is it talks about how real leadership, like in this truest core, is an emotional connection to the vision. And the leader kind of represent that vision. So, for example, when you have a community that gets hit by a catastrophe, say it's a hurricane, something like that, oftentimes when there is a very strong knit community and there's strong leaders within that community, typically people are going to have each other's back, and it almost acts like an immune system to opportunistic looters. So you're going to still see some looting, but for the most part, the community is going to come together and support each other rather than try to be opportunistic and take advantage of the situation. Where there's communities where there's low trust and the leadership is poor, oftentimes you're going to see people coming in trying to take other people's property and things like that. And the whole point of this, and you could kind of sum it up as this: think of it, if you had good parents growing up or a coach or whoever it might be, at the end of the day, here's what the true sense of leadership is. When that person isn't physically present with you, do you still think about what would they do in the situation? That's what the true essence of leadership comes down to. It's an emotional connection of what would this person do in this particular scenario. It's the what would Jesus do moments. It's what would mom do? What would dad do? What would this coach do in this scenario? That's what you want. They don't have to physically be there in order for you to be able to take on that same vision that they still have. And that's essentially what leadership is. And trying to build trust in this environment is the challenge. So this is going to be a little bit more of a series that I'm going back on, and I hope that this will be something that could be relevant for a lot of people.